Will be starting shortly. Beth and Sean, thank you all for joining. Please don't hesitate to ping people in the room. We're using our power voice today to encourage someone and to give steps to actually release, let it go, depression and stress. So if you're on stage today, we see Sean is raising your hand. Let's bring you up, Sean. So if you're in the audience today and you have a testimony, or if you would just like to talk about something that's going on with you right now, allow us to work with you to release and let depression and stress go. Sean, how are you and how could we service you on this amazing evening?
I just saw this amazing thing. I just wanted to. I don't deal with depression. I don't have depression problems, but
Imani, Emily, go
sometimes
to
I
your
do get
Imani, come here.
stressed out sometimes, but I don't try to let that bother me really. I've learned to relax and calm down. Try to be live in peace and let go. I know y'all realize that I don't always
Imani? And you know what? This is one room that we're going to stay in here for a while because guess what? It's not even about the size of the room. It's about the power in the room. So again, we're just having open conversation. If you have a story or, even if you had to deal with a person that was dealing with stress and depression, this is the time to speak. I see that we have an amazing couple here, the Laughing Lovers. I definitely want to invite you all to speak because I was in the room with you all and the information that you shared is priceless. Hello there, how are you all doing, the Laughing Lovers? Will you please tell people who you are and how would you suggest that people get rid of depression and stress? Thanks for coming in. because this room right here is not about size. It's the power. Because if it's just one person that's coming here that's dealing with depression and stress, and if we can help them relieve depression and or stress and help them walk away with, just letting go and releasing it. Now, one of the things that I want to ask you all, the love bug, is you have a exercise that you did in the room, and I would really appreciate it if you would be so kind to share that exercise with the people that's in the room, and let's get some laughter going on. Now, I'm gonna try to invite some people up on stage so that we can laugh together. There's not a lot of people out in the audience, so Ariana, if we can invite some of these people to come on stage, and if you all are willing to do that exercise with us, I would greatly appreciate it. So yeah, but you know what? Let's share again, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in the audience, we did try to invite you up, but if you just want to raise your hand and come on stage and laugh with us, or just laugh right where you're at. But yeah, we're ready to roll. So let us know when we can laugh our way through this.
Fake as you want. You can fake laugh. There's no wrong way to do this. Allow yourself to release any stress or any anxiety that you're carrying in your body with just laughing without waiting for the reason. All right. So with no further ado, are we okay to start? Yes, let's go. Okay, thank you.
So we're going to do a humming exercise. So we're going to start out humming, and we're going to finish it up with laughter.
All right, so let's all unmute and try that. Hum. Thank you for sharing your laughter. Thank you for allowing yourself to just laugh. Just laugh for the health of it. Laugh because you can. Laugh because it feels good to laugh. And we really appreciate you all. And thank you so much, Ariana and Vera, for allowing us to share a laughter exercise in your room. It was wonderful connecting with you all through laughter.
Yes, totally appreciate you for coming in and sharing your experience. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure if you unmuted your mic and if you actually gave this exercise a try, but I'm going to tell you something that, well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to tell you anything. Just allow me to share with you something. It's amazing how when you shared that, what is it, the subconscious, the universe don't know the difference between a fake laugh or a real laugh, but it's something about laughing. Even when we were starting the exercise with the humming and then started to laugh, I had a laughter deep down in my belly that needed to just come out, and I feel a whole lot better as a result of. So again, thank you for sharing it. And if you all are going through anything, one of the steps we want to leave you with is just laugh at it. You know what? Because at the end of the day, what the enemy may mean for evil, God is somewhere laughing in the background saying, I mean it for your good. And sometimes you just got to look at that negative situation. You got to look at depression. You got to look at stress. And you just got to open up a big old crazy laugh. Yes. So again, thank you. Thank you all for sharing. Yes. You know what, Dr. K, I see you here. Is there anything that you would like to share? Because I hear you laughing. Go ahead.
Yes, I laughed so hard. My nose started running, and that's funny. Did you hear me? That's not funny.
that's not funny. I know that's right. Well, did you have some tissue?
Yeah, tissue for my issues. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you. Thank you. And you know what just made me, I just thought about something, Ariana. If it's anyone and you're having, let's say you're having a financial issue and you got more month at the end of your money and you looking like, you know what, this is not working for me. If you tired of robbing Peter to pay Paul, you got a sore Peter and no Paul, then just look at that situation and wherever you at, just bust out and start laughing, because guess what? Laugh at it and then visualize yourself, because one of the other things with helping getting rid of depression and stress is to think the thought is the cause of it all. Look at that situation that you're in and find a way to visualize yourself in a better situation, and just really active so whatever you're dealing with, let's just say it's that money problem we were talking about, and you worried about, oh my God, how am I going to make these ends meet when one end is on the other side of town? And
you don't know how to do it and you're depressed and you're stressed about it. Visualize yourself making those ends meet. Visualize yourself having more money at the end of your month. Visualize yourself shopping. As a matter of fact, if you just got to go into some stores and take yourself some selfies while you're picking up items in the store, and you got to go to a car lot and actually sit in a car and smell and laugh at yourself while you in the car. Like, let me take a picture of me in this new Bentley I'm in. Do what you got to do. Ariana, I'm going to drop the mic over in your hand. What do you want to add?
I love what you said, Vera, about visualization. And it's so critical because sometimes we don't realize what visual beings we are, what we see, what we relate to, what resonates in our spirit. It impacts everything. And I never understood. I was always, I started laughing years ago. And someone told me that sometimes you got to laugh to keep from crying. And I just started laughing. And it was amazing because I didn't understand it at the time, but I knew it made me feel better. So I don't care if somebody tried to pick an argument with me, I would just start laughing. And they didn't know how to take that. It was confusing. It confused. I didn't know what was going on either. But I knew that it was something that was healthy. So I decided to just keep it, even though, I test things out. I give everything a test and I see how I feel afterwards. And that was a keeper. The laughter is a keeper. So I encourage everyone to not only laugh but visualize, see yourself where you want to be. And I often visualize myself on the beach. I often visualize myself in an airplane traveling. You can visualize yourself anywhere, anywhere you want to be. You can start visualization. And it's so important. We can't stress that enough. I'm so glad you brought that up, Vera. So we encourage everyone to just take time out of your day and see where you want to be and see yourself there, even before you get there, because that's where it all starts, right here, right now. Back to you, Vera.
Wow, you talk about powerful. And I am going to bring up one more step, but I also want to open up I want everyone to open up their mics and please add in. That's why you're here, because your voice matter. This is a time that your power voice is definitely going to make a difference. So if I were to add another step, is actually in speaking things into existence. So, words of affirmation. Start talking to yourself. Start telling yourself stuff that you need to hear. I am happy. I'm healthy. I'm wise. I'm fine. I'm fabulous. I am fierce. I am love. I am loved. I am loyalty. I am blessed to be a blessing. Start. I am the best of the best. I am a champion. I am a queen, a goddess, and all that in a bag of chips. I am made in the image of God and his likeness. What? Just start saying stuff to yourself. And, even you could be actually in a real tough time in your marriage or in your relationship. But start speaking good things in that marriage. Start speaking good things in that relationship and watch how it manifests itself. Because one or two things have to happen. Either the relationship has to change or you going to move. Because if you're not happy and if it's not manifesting where you're at, the most high God, the law of the universe would say, well, wait a minute. Let me align you with the things that you're speaking in your life. If you're speaking love, if you're speaking happiness, if you're speaking loyalty, if you're speaking royalty, then either your situation is going to change or you're going to move from it so that you can get to where you're speaking and what you're speaking about. Now, if there's anyone, Ariana, I'm going to turn it over to you. And then after that, if it's anyone, if you want to add, unmute your mic. This is popcorn style. Pop, 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 and let us hear from you.
Yes, Vera, that is awesome. I concur. What you speak, words have power. So I tell people always speak life into your life, into your circumstances. No matter what it looks like, speak life. It's so important because again, words have power. So I encourage you to watch every word that you allow to release from your mouth. And sometimes, we apologize for words we say, but that's one thing about words. My grandmama, she was a smart woman. She used to tell me, baby, don't try to apologize for something you said. Just don't say it. And it's true, because once you release it, you can apologize, but you can't take it back. Once it's out there, it's already out there. So I actually, thanks to grandma, I am so selective about every word I speak. And if it doesn't uplift, encourage, empower, then I choose to just be silent, until otherwise, because it's best not to release something that you don't want to release, or something you may later regret. So yes, words have power. So speak life into your life. Back to you, Vera.
I'm opening the stage up to anyone that's here. Go ahead, unmute yourself. You know what? I know some of you all have something to say, something to share, and we want to hear from you. So go ahead. Don't all unmute at one time. I'm gonna mute just so that you can speak.
This is
Okay.
Ro.
Okay. Go. I was gonna say, all right, Ro. Go ahead. I got you.
This is Ro. I want to say hello to everyone in the space. Um, I looked at the room about depression and stress, and it's something that a lot of us are dealing with. And there's the blues, and then there's depression. And sometimes um, there are certain things that can't just explain it away. And it gets to the point to whereas um, some intensive measures have to be implemented, because um, it's one thing to know what to do mentally, and it's the other thing to have the motivation to actually do it. Because depression sometimes can have you to whereas you feel like you weigh 1,000 pounds, and it's hard to even get up and have motivation. I'm dealing with something right now to whereas I go through peaks and valleys. I have been experiencing depression for like about over 30 years of my life, and it has been a very challenging road. Like I said, I have peaks and then I have valleys. Sorry, I got a call. Sometimes I get into spaces like now where I feel things so intensely and I care so much that when I feel hurt, it just feels like it knocks the wind out of my lungs, and it's hard to breathe. Um, it's very difficult, and so I just want to be able to interact with some positivity and be able to communicate and such. So I don't know what else to say at this point, so I'll just silence my mic.
Is there anyone that want to add some feedback to what Miss Rowe just said? Is it anyone that want to add feedback before I speak?
I don't really have any
Glenisha?
feedback, but I definitely resonate with what Ro was saying as far as feeling things, extremely deeply and intensely.
Wow. You know what? That was such a great share. And Glenisha, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. That was also such a good connection. Just to let Ro know that, first of all, you're not even alone. There are so many people right now in the midst of a pandemic that's dealing with all types of stuff, especially the ones that are extreme empaths, that they carry the weight of the world on their shoulder. And you have your peaks, and then you have your valleys, your up and your lows. One of the things that I wanted to share as far as the steps is to write, because even with the laughter, even with the vision, we have to be able, even with speaking things into existence, You also have to be able to write things down. You know, the word says that we got to write the vision and make it plain. And even in writing, this is one thing that I would ask you all to just be mindful of. Make a list and write those things down, that when you find yourself going on the low end, make a note of those things that take you to that place, right? And you want to make a note of those things and then scratch them out. And the reason you want to scratch them out because you want to cancel those things out, because life is filled with tests, and if you don't pass the test, then life will have you repeat it until you get it right. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you find yourself depressed every time. Tyrone. Ooh, girl, sometimes you just hate to call Tyrone. Y'all know you got to call Tyrone. And Tyrone, you love him, but you know Tyrone is toxic for you. And every time you get into a altercation with Tyrone, you find yourself right back on the floor because you've given Tyrone your heart. You've given him everything that you love Tyrone from a deep place. And Tyrone will come right on and turn all that sweet lemonade and all that love that you have for him, and he'll take it and just kind of toss it out the front door. And then when he do that, you find yourself kind of on the floor feeling like, ooh, woe is me. Now I'm just using Tyrone and I'm just using this like as a metaphor, but I know that you can either understand or overstand or understand what I'm saying. So writing that stuff down and then just taking a line through it because you're going to cancel it out. Tyrone, you can no longer come here and pull the same moves that you pulled with me because I'm canceling it out. And then you write down those things that take you to the top. It's like, this is my peak. This is what make me feel good when I'm shopping. I feel good when I'm listening to music, gospel music. I feel good when I'm in the church and I'm, whatever your feel good is. Your feel good may be, I feel good when I'm getting my feet massaged. Oh, I feel so good. Whatever your feel good is, and you write that stuff down. And when you write that down, you circle it. You circle it boldly, because now you're putting a circle around the feeling that really make you up, and then you're canceling out those things that take you to the valley. I hope that helps someone. I wish I could have this stuff written down, but I'm coming to you all from a place that's deep within. One thing that the word says is that some things come through fasting and praying. This very room was thought of at the drop of a bam. Ariana said, Vera, let's do it. Let's do it. And then in the midst of us creating this space, we had one title. And then the Holy Spirit said, change the title for tonight. And that's how we're here now with depression and stress and steps to release and let it go. So just to kind of go over the steps, we spoke about laughter. Laugh at that situation and create an energy from a place that only God knows where it comes from. Then we said that you got to visualize. You got to start seeing yourself in a place that you want to be at. Don't see yourself in that hurt, in that depressed or that stressful place. Visualize yourself somewhere in a two-piece bikini, thin in the waist and cute in the face, enjoying yourself with the love of your life and your family or your friends, whatever make you feel good. The other thing is speaking into existence. If nobody comes along to encourage you, you better be willing to encourage yourself. Start saying good things about yourself. And we spoke affirmations. And then last but certainly not least, we just wrote about write it down. Write the vision and make it plain. And cancel out those things that don't serve you. And boldly circle those things that serve you. I am going to release my mic. And Ariana, I see you're already ready to roll. Let's roll, sis.
Well, you've got some great steps, Vera. And I want to add another step that I have discovered really since the pandemic, because I was unable to go to the gym. So I said, well, I got to figure out a way to get some exercise at home. So you know what I did? I went outside. I get up and go outside every day and get some fresh air, get some sunlight, vitamin D. And I tell you, I feel better just walking outside. And I've made friends. I've met some neighbors who've been here a long time. I never knew they were here because, I got caught up in my own world, living, doing everything I do day to day. And I realized that just by going outside, just taking a break away from the phone, away from the computer, getting fresh air, getting sunlight, talking with the neighbors, even playing with my neighbors' dogs. I'm a dog lover, so I have so much fun now going outside. And I encourage everyone, find a happy place. It may be outside, it may wherever you want to go, where you can have some peace, some quiet, and actually just treat yourself to something that's healthy. So definitely, Vera, that's a keeper. I go outside every day, even rain or shine. A little rain won't hurt you. I enjoy the rain too. So I've just learned to enjoy the simple things in life, and I encourage you to do the same. What about you, Vera?
Wow, you know what? When you said rain, I just imagined that you just go out there with your umbrella and you're laughing and singing in the rain. I'm singing in the rain. Okay. That's what you got to do, what you got to do. Now, Ariana, you mentioned something so powerful, and that was another step that I was going to ask people to take that's dealing with depression and stress. Know what your vitamin D levels are, because vitamin D, it's best to get it from the sunshine, but especially during this pandemic, a lot of people just miss that sunshine. And then in some areas, the sun just don't shine as bright as it do in some areas. So you need to know what your vitamin D levels are. And what I've realized, according to a lot of doctors that I spoke to, I am not a physician. I got a PhD, but it may be in something else. We ain't gonna talk about that. But anyways, I'm the mother of 5 girls, so I tell people I got a PhD in girlology. But what I was gonna say is that go to your physician and find out what your vitamin D levels are. People of darker tone skin, we're noticing that they have a vitamin D deficiency. So just understanding what those numbers are, especially during this pandemic. I've spoken to several doctors that said that, listen, if you have a vitamin D level in the 70s, you're doing really, really well. And that your body can help fight off stuff. If there, and let me, and this is just a shameless plug. We have a vitamin D that we use that has really, really made a impact on people's lives. If you're interested and want to know, tell us about that vitamin D you're talking about, Vera. Ask myself or Ariana on the back channel. Send us a message, and we'll be happy to share with you the vitamin D3 that we actually take daily that is making a huge difference in our lives. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a popcorn style stage. Unmute yourself. Let us hear from you. Let me try to pronounce your name. Is it Sana? Sana, Sana. If you, I feel like you have something to share as far as depression and stress. Can we hear from you today? If you, okay, there you go.
Sure. Thanks for inviting me. Sorry, I was unmuting myself. Yeah, I was. It was just interesting. The title, "Depression and Stress: Steps to Release," and that's something that I also struggle with daily. So, I think what helps me most is just taking a break and recharging my mind and my body. Sometimes that's what helps me on a daily basis, because it can get really stressful being a mom and having work and all these other things to juggle. Like us women, we have so much. So sometimes just taking a break and doing what you enjoy makes a huge difference.
I so agree. It makes me think of meditation.
Yes,
That
meditation, deep breathing, anything that helps you calm down, because we all are so different. Like, something might work for someone, and, like art, for example, works for me, or reading a book, but for some others might be something like listening to music or going on a run outside. So whatever helps, try to find whatever works.
many times we know we have responsibilities and things to do, and it's important to prioritize things that will help us to be able to do what we have to do even better. So that's why it's so important to prioritize you. So I encourage everyone on this in this clubhouse to do something for you every day. It could be just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you have. That's more than enough to at least get started doing something that you and don't feel guilty about it. I talk to so many people who say they don't have time. They don't have time to exercise. They don't have time to do meal prep. They don't have time to do whatever it is. No, you do have time, and it's important to make time because if not, you will suffer, and I hate to see anybody suffer. So I intentionally make time to do something I love. I love that, Santa. Is it Sana? How do you pronounce your name? I want to pronounce it right.
It's Sana.
Sana. Yes, I agree totally. To make time each day to do something that you love. It truly will make the difference.
Yeah, small steps.
Absolutely. Who else would like to share things that you have experienced or something that you may have discovered that's helping you to overcome depression and to deal with stress? Because there's so many things. We don't have all the answers. We're just here to share because I see people every day dealing with depression, dealing with stress. And it's important that we, first of all, acknowledge it. Second of all, exercise things that we can do, practical steps that we take, whether it be laughing, whether it be spending time with someone you love, whether it may be cooking, whatever your thing is, music, art. There's so many ways, so many things that you can do that will help you to combat stress and also deal with depression. Is there anyone else here who'd like to share? Simply raise your hand and we'll bring you to the stage. Anything that could be beneficial for someone else in the clubhouse room tonight. We'd love to hear from you.
Ariana, I am also a nature walk and hugging a tree. So sometimes, yeah, sometimes you just have to go out and have a nature walk. I call it also earthing, where you take your shoes off, walk in the grass and get yourself balanced. Listen to music if you need to, and be willing to hug a tree and say, "Hey, tree, I know it's probably been a long time since we had a conversation, but I'm feeling some type of way, and I just want to hug you today, and I want to release some of this stress, the depression, anxiety, whatever it is that's going on. Can I hug you, tree, and give some of this stuff over to you?" And guess what? You'll be surprised in just doing something so simple how it could really, really make a big difference. So I see we have more people on the stage. Robin, welcome to the stage. Tammy, Christine, is it 80 or Adi? Any Adi, any of you can please feel free to unmute yourselves. We're popcorn style, and we just want to hear from you. I'm going on mute.
I loved what Vera said about the earthing and that simple gesture of just saying it and letting it go. Asking Mama Gaia if she can take anything, any stress, any anxiety, and asking if she can release it, and then just giving it to her. Those actions and those just voicing it out loud and saying your intention is so powerful. And I was doing a reading today, and it's about intention. Our intention is very powerful. If we can kind of slow down for a moment and intentionally say that I want to just breathe a little deeper, I want to come back to my present moment. I'm going to feel my feet on the ground. I'm going to feel my chest rise and fall. Sometimes when we can just bring ourselves back to the here and the now, is very powerful. And also our breath. Our breath is magic. We breathe in one chemical and we breathe out something else. We are magical beings. And so just coming back to that and reminding the power that we have, that we do on a daily basis, that we forget that we're doing. And just sometimes remembering how magnificent we are can help snap out of that. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thanks. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, go right ahead. And thank you, Christine, for sharing.
Yes, powerful. Thank you, Christine. Go ahead, Glenisha.
Oh, I didn't even know that I was off mute, but I would just say that really just echoing a lot what a lot of you all were saying that on a daily basis, I think it is definitely important to step outside, get some fresh air. I work from home, and so something that I typically do is I will literally just take breaks where I step outside, in my yard, get some sunshine. I may even water, a few of my plants. Um, I also, every single morning, I journal, and I like to start with a gratitude list. And sometimes, it may be 10 things, it may be five. One day it may be just one single thing. But often thinking about things that I'm grateful for, and my gratitude list will just simply take me out of, whatever mood or whatever stress. I also write down a list of affirmations and things that I know I need to reinforce. Then I'll also say those aloud in the mirror, and I may say it multiple times until I really begin to feel it. And I think too, as someone else was saying, like we do have to realize exactly how magical and powerful we are. I definitely believe that we're able and capable of moving energy, and so a lot of times too, I'll be just like walking through my house and denouncing any negative feelings or any negative energy, and also literally um, telling it like you gotta go. I'll open my windows, and then all of the positive things that I want to welcome back into my space, I'll start saying that. I welcome joy, or I welcome laughter, love, and all of those other positive things into my space and into my home. And literally, like, sometimes within minutes, and it may even be a few hours, but I definitely feel that energy shift and that change. And I think, oftentimes we feel like we need someone else or somebody to come save us or help us, but the power is definitely within us.
Wow. Wow. Powerful share. And even as you were speaking, it reminded me of the importance of purging. If it's not serving you, if it's dead, get rid of it. And because a lot of times we're cluttered. When you're depressed, when you're stressed, it's because you got so many things that's cluttered, and you don't have the space to even process all of the stuff that's happening. So as you start to physically get get rid of stuff that's no longer serving you, even go through your cell phone and your friends on social media, and those that don't give you the right energy or don't serve you, be willing to let them go for the season, so that you could get rid of your, release yourself from the depression and the stress. Also, as it relates to stuff in your house, clothing, do you know that the more stuff you have, and you just trying to stuff into the closet. You can't even get stuff in the closet. It's just when you open the closet, stuff falling down. That's an indication on how things is falling down on your life. Let that stuff go. You know what? Bye. I see you. Wouldn't want to be you. Another man's junk is another man's treasure. I'm letting you go so I can make some room for improvement up in here. Talk to yourself. I'm telling you, let that go. So I'm going to release my mic, because if it's anybody else that want to add on, let us hear from you. Robin, I see you had your mic off quite a bit. Let us hear from you, Robin.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Vera, and thank you, Ariana, for the invite. When I saw the title, Depression and Stress Steps to Release, it definitely hit home because several years ago, my family experienced several six deaths. within a month, and we were all close. And that threw me into a state of depression where I found myself on antidepressants. And that in itself, being put on an antidepressant, makes you depressed, whether people know it or not. And so even currently, I deal with depression and anxiety. However, I've learned to just release and just be myself and know that God has shown me that He is always with me. Even when I'm feeling that He's not, because the enemy is trying to convince me that He has forgotten me. I have to constantly remind myself, like Vera just said, encourage yourself, knowing that He is always there. And I find that with some of the work that I'm doing, that I have a tendency to take on other people's um, issues, and I've had to learn how to even release that. My whole life, I've been basically a happy person, always laughing, trying to find the best in everyone, because I know we all have a side that, we don't want others to know about. But I have just enjoyed the conversation tonight, because each time someone speaks, it's like, oh, yeah, that's right. One thing that I haven't done that I appreciate, Vera, is that I've never written things down. And so that's something that I'm going to challenge myself to do, is to start writing it down and making it plain. And I thank you for that. And with that, that's enough.
Thank you, Robin.
Everyone, have a blessed evening.
Thanks, Robin. Don't go nowhere. We need you, girl. Thank you.
Okay.
I know, and we appreciate the sharing because we want you to feel comfortable in this room sharing, because depression and stress are real. And so many times we're taught not to tell people what we're dealing with and what we're going through. And that very thing will help you to heal as you talk about it, as you acknowledge it, and as you apply tools and techniques that help other people. Guess what? They can help you too. I was just reminded when Robin said what she shared, that when I'm dealing with something, I have a tendency to look and see and find someone else is dealing with something even more serious than what I'm dealing with. And that is therapy for me, because it helps me to realize that what I'm going through, it can't even compare to somebody else and what they're going through. So I constantly focus on what I can do to help other people. And then guess what? Somebody's going to come along and help me too. But my focus is not simply on me. It's not simply on what I'm going through. But as I expand and start creating resources for other people, I create resources for myself that I don't even realize that I needed or was capable of even creating. So I want to encourage you to take your focus off of whatever it is that's occupying your attention right now, and reach out and be a source of strength for someone else, and watch what happens to them and to you at the same time. It's the power of love. It really is. What do you think about that, Vera?
Wow, I'm over here clapping and laughing and writing stuff down and hugging trees. I'm like, you know what? This is amazing. I don't know if you all are taking notes, but I'm literally taking notes. Ariana, great share. This is really hitting me in a heart space, because again, even in the midst of us trying to figure stuff out, it's a higher power that already has things worked out. And yeah, that's as much as I'm going to share, because I see Tammy has her mic unmuted. I want to give Tammy a chance to share. Miss Tammy, go ahead. And I see that it's your birthday. Welcome to Clubhouse. You got here on September. No, no, no. So no. Yeah, yeah. So you still got your birthday cap on, because you just joined. You just joined on the 23rd.
First of all, thank you so much, Ariana, for setting up
this channel and this room. And thank you, Vera, so much for just the things you were sharing as well and reaching out to me next. Much like Gladysha, I journal as well. I'm so glad that she mentioned it because that's like one of my favorite things to do, to be able to write down my day and write down what's going on in my life pretty much daily, and if not daily, at least, monthly, being able to take the time to do that. It's cool in the sense of, I'll just give you a short story. Like, just recently, I've had a big transition in my life, and so I went back to my very first journal when I started this. So this was in 2005, and reading my life in 2005 versus where it is in 2021, as well as reading about all the other people in my life as far as family, where they were in 2005 versus where they are now. Just recently, I was able to call up my mom and my sister and my niece and actually share those things with them from back that long ago. And it was a testament to not just how much I've grown, but how much they've grown as well. So just having somebody document that and put that out there really was satisfying to not just me, but to, the people around me. As far as like other things that I do as far as depression and stress to help relieve that, for me, guided meditation works. So I'm sure you guys know on YouTube there are a million guided meditation videos. So I'll do those. I'll start off by setting my intention, like what do I want to get out of the video. Then I'll, YouTube it and get that kind of meditation. Another thing I do is I turn off the television now, which I did not do last year at all. I was glued to the TV and glued to the news, and this year it was my intention after the insurrection to basically turn off the TV. So, and it has just relieved a whole lot of stress. But every now and then you turn it on just to make sure you know what's going on, and then you turn it back off again. So if that would be a suggestion. Don't watch the news as much. And finally, just sitting in silence. I practice mindfulness. I get a lot of rest. We often don't take enough time to get the rest that we need, so I might take a nap in the middle of the day if I can, even if it's a 45-minute nap. Just things like that. So I think, yeah, those are the things that I do when it comes to releasing stress and letting go. And hopefully, you guys may have gotten some tips like I've gotten from y'all. So I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm complete.
Hey, you know what, Tammy? Girl, you just gave me superpower because it is nothing like that 30-minute nap. You talking about that nod when you that power nap, you wake up like Wonder Woman. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Lots of great tips. And we invite you in the audience. You may do something that we can use to help deal with depression and stress. So we invite you, if you've got a secret or something, or just something that you know works, it doesn't even have to be a secret, just something that could be beneficial as we go through this thing called life. It's important that we go through it empowered, uplifted, and encouraging ourselves and encouraging others too. So we invite you to share, and we appreciate those who have shared already. And if there's anyone else who'd like to share any tips, any techniques, or any words of wisdom, it could be something you learned as a child, as a teenager, or something you learned today. I tell people you're never too old to learn. So if there's something you'd like to share, the mic is here for you to pick it up and share powerfully with someone who could actually appreciate what you have to share. Is there anyone who'd like to share?
So I oh no, go ahead, 80 or is it Addie? I'm sorry. Go ahead, please. Addie. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Addie.
You're fine. So, I would just like to piggyback off of Lanisha, Tammy, Vera, Robin, because I didn't hear anyone else speak prior to that. But I wouldn't say I'm much of a journaler, but I guess you could kind of say that. One of the things that I do is I like to take situations that I've gone through and create stories. So, I've been through a lot in life, from like teen pregnancy at a young age and kind of having to cope with a lot of things that I couldn't really express to like family, like sexual abuse and things of that nature. And I would create a story, like my life, in a book. And I think they have became one of like my best works, being able to really take those emotions and put them on paper to release them. That was my form of release. I felt like God gave me that, to help, because I'm not one of those people that's very vocal. Like, I really don't like to talk about a lot. But when I do, it's easier for me to write you a letter and tell you how I feel than it is for me to have a conversation face to face with someone, in fear of them feeling some type of way or rejecting my message. So it's easier to write something down and give it to you, rather than me having that conversation face to face. But I found that through my darkest times of battling depression and dealing with a lot of stress, that writing or just creating stories helped me a lot. It helped me to channel in on the emotions, acknowledge them, and then combat them by purging them out. Um, I feel as though, even now, like as I gotten older and had more kids, of course, as a parent, there are times, especially when you're a single parent, you're dealing with things on your own. It tends to be a lot, and I use my